Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do my review on uh, Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 3, Sparks Will Fly or Fizzle. Let's get started. All right, we see the ladies. They're all headed to the ladies' lounge to meet up with Tommy. And I think there should be two hosts. One for the men and one for the ladies, because a man don't really understand what a woman is feeling and thinking. So I think there should be the men should deliberate with a man and the women should deliberate with a woman. You'll see what I'm talking about later on. Anywho, they say what, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, men are from Mars. Yeah, because men and women really don't understand what each other are thinking. They're not really in sync with each other like that. Anyway, they meet up and they welcome Carmen to the group. Tommy told them Tommy told them to set up a date with activity that unapologetically is them. And which to me that means do activities that you like. I would do activities such as bowling, indoor wall climbing, go-kart driving, you fly indoor flying, like you're flying in space, put on a spacesuit. You do indoor flying, that's a rock climbing, bowling, yeah, stuff like that. Something that's physical, but not physical to the point where you're sweating, and maybe a lunch afterwards. But anyway, Tommy also tells them that another female and male will be joining them on blind dates. And Tommy decided that Dakia will go out with Eric. Eric is going to be her blind date. My hair is sticking up all over the place. Anywho, he told them that at the end of the week, they will meet up again to decide which man will go home. I already know who I want to go home. I want Paul to go home, and I want Cornelius to go home. Paul, I'll tell you about him later on, and Cornelius does not want to be married. He wants kids, but he does not want to be committed. He does not want to be in a committed relationship. I don't know what he wants. I don't even know why he's there. Just to get some airtime, I don't know. Anyway, so we see Dakia. She's meeting up with her blind date, and she's sitting there waiting for him to show up. Then we saw her date walking up, and they showed him from the shoes up. And he was wearing some blue slip-on shoes, no socks. We saw his pants. His pants was too short, but then they went all the way up, and then we saw that he's at least wearing a button-down shirt with a collar and a jacket. At least he was doing that, thank God. Because them blue slip-on shoes, I didn't like them, and no socks and the short pants, no. And then we saw his arm muscles. His arm muscles look good. He looked like he works out on a regular. And he has a bald head and a beard. But his face is handsome. But I didn't think the kid was gonna like him. He says he's a celebrity chef. And I do like a man that knows how to cook. I like that. He said that being a celebrity chef interferes with his dating. And he says his parents are a perfect role model for love because they're still together and they're still in love. So he finally meets Dakia and they hug. And right off the bat, which is a no-no for me, she compliments him. Let him compliment you first, please, lady. She compliments him, and he never returns the compliment. And right away, he starts talking about himself. He says his father was a preacher. He says his father was in the army. He said he graduated from high school in Germany. He said he got married when he was 18. He told her that before he became a chef, he was a system engineer. And this is how she gets to talk. She said she is assistant engineer. And she works for NASA. And then she says she owns a dance studio. And I think that kind of intimidated him a little bit because he shut up, sat back, and started sipping his drinks. That may have intimidated him a little bit. And he told her that he moved back to the area because his uncle had cancer. And she said she had cancer. In her confessional, she said she avoided chemo because they caught the cancer early. And she said it's 9 years now that she's been cancer-free. That is amazing. God bless you, Dakia. God bless you, girl. And Eric said in his confessional that Dakia is a strong woman. And yes, she is. Eric asked Dakia if she had any kids, and she said no. He asked her if she wanted any kids, and she said, what did she say? She said, it's great if it happens, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. She does not want kids. No, she does not want kids. She asked him if he wanted kids, and he said he has girls who are 21 and 23 years old. And he says he's open to having kids, but if he meets someone who just wants to chill and relax, then he's cool with that. That means he doesn't want any more kids either. So they kind of agree on those 2 points, on the points of not having kids or not wanting kids. And they seem to be vibing with each other. He told her he liked her, finally gives her a little compliment, and he asked her for another date. And I like that he did that. And she agrees to another date. And they both seem to really like each other. And I hope they work out. I hope they work out. Next, Tommy chose Clifton to go on a date to go on a blind date. And I know why he chose that. Because he wants Clifton to not put all his eggs in one basket and just concentrate on Joy. I think that's why he sent Clifton on a date. And plus, Joy, I don't know how she's going to date someone when she's constantly on the road. She needs to be off the show. I want her off the show. She's not ready for love. When she's ready to be stationed in one place and stop being on the road, then she'll be ready for love. She's not ready for love. I want her off the show. So Clifton is not happy that he has to meet his blind date at a vegan place. Look, I'm not vegan, but I'm open to trying some vegan food. Just because it's vegan doesn't mean it won't taste good. He needs to open up his mind, open up his world. He said, I don't look like I eat vegan. I eat carnivore. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't eat a meal that's not carnivore. You can eat one vegan meal. Damn, it's not going to kill you. Ugh. Just relax. Gosh. So we meet AP. She's 42 years old. She's a holistic life coach. She's not bad looking, but she's wearing some ugly sandals. I don't think Clifton is going to like her. Of course not. He's not going to like her. She's not as good looking as Joy is. And plus, she's vegan, so he's not going to like that. Also, she's wearing an inappropriate dress. The dress that she's wearing is sequenced. In the middle of the day, she's wearing a sequenced dress. That's for a nighttime date. And the dress looked outdated. It looked like something you'd wear in the 80s. And she says she's a life coach only for women. And I don't understand why someone would get a life coach. For what? What are you getting a life coach for? I don't know. I doubt very much if she'll find love on this show. I don't see anybody matching with her from this group. She says online dating did not work out for her. She said she was married for almost 10 years. Her husband passed away 5 years ago. She didn't say what he died of. Anyway, so she meets up with Clifton and they hug. And he pulls out her chair for her. Thank you, Clifton. Thank you. And right away, she says she thinks he's beautiful. Clifton asked her to tell him about herself. Thank you. Eric needs to take lessons. He says, so tell me about yourself. That's what's supposed to happen. You don't sit there and talk about yourself constantly. That's what Eric did. Just sat there and just rattle off a bunch of stuff about himself. No. So Clifton asked her if she travels a lot. Why did he ask her that? Why did he ask her that? Joy travels a lot, and I don't think he likes the fact that she's constantly on the road. How can you have a relationship with her if she's constantly on the road? So he asks AP if she travels a lot. And she says she travels, but she has kids. You know? And he says he has kids too. He has a 3-year-old. So how is he going to be dating Joy, who travels a lot? He can't travel with her. He has a 3-year-old, and he has another child too, but I think it's older. And plus he has a job. So he can't be traveling around with her. Who would want that? We also learned that Clifton has been married twice. Now, I've been married twice, divorced twice. And I know what I did wrong. I keep choosing the wrong man. So, Clifton, what are you doing that's wrong? Choosing people like Joy, who travels a lot and can't spend time with you. That's all. Anywho. AP told him that she is a widow and that she's ready. But she's ready to love. This little piece of hair just hanging here, huh? And that she is ready to love. Anywho. But the more AP talk, the more I like her. But I think she's too mature for the guys in this group. Yeah, I think she's too mature for the guys in this group. You know what, though? I think her and Demetrius, they may be a good match, I think. They may be an okay match. If he stopped crushing on Sabrina, maybe he can be a match for AP. And I think Sabrina and Clifton would be a good match. If he don't quit crushing on Joy so much and pay some attention to Sabrina, I think those two might be a good match. Anyway, AP, she did a no. She told Clifton that he reminds her of her brother. If I'm on a date with some guy and he tells me that I remind him of his sister, you know what that's telling me? That's telling me that he is not attracted to me. If I remind you of your sister, you can't be attracted to me. And Clifton says, so what is it? Is it the beard or my voice that reminds you of your brother? And she says, it's the shape of your face. In her confessional, she said she wanted to feel a connection, but she kept when she looked at him, she kept thinking of her brother. And in his confessional, Clifton said that he did not see a love connection with her. Of course not, because all you can think about is joy. You got joy running through your mind. Okay, next we see Dakia. In her confessional, she said that Tommy asked her to felicitate a group date to introduce Eric to some of the other people. So they do painting. And I hate these group dates. There's always an odd man out. It's always an odd number. And when it's an odd number, somebody's going to feel left out. I don't like that. But I do like the painting idea, though. I've never done that before. That's a nice little idea. So the group consisted of Ace, Joy, Eric. When I say their names, I'm trying to picture their faces in my mind. Ace, Joy, Eric, Dakia, and Cornelius. 3 girls, 2 guys. Uneven, not fair. Anyway, and it's always the girls, more girls than guys. Anyway, Cornelius is painting a picture of his dead cat named Pimp, and Joy seems to think she seems to be weirded out by that. I'm a cat person, so what? Let him paint his cat. Even though I don't like Cornelius, let him paint a picture of his cat if he wants to. And Eric, he talks a little bit with Ace. And he says he likes her, but he couldn't wait to go talk to Joy. He's automatically attracted to Joy. Poor baby. He don't know. Joy's heart is already taken by Cornelius. No, Joy's heart is already taken by Clifton. Okay, so Eric flirts with Joy a little bit, and he tells her he's a chef, and she tells him that she's a singer. In her confessional, she said he's a breath of fresh air. That's shade towards the other guys, I think. She told him that she was going to share her Instagram with him. Maybe she wants to be hooked up with some celebrities because he's a celebrity chef. Maybe she wants him to hook her up with some celebrities because she's not feeling him. The only person she has her mind on is Clifton. So Dakia pulls Cornelius away to chat. She said she's still thinking about Eric, and across the room she's gonna wink at him to let him know that she's still thinking of him. But Eric ain't thinking about her. Eric is crushing on Joy now. He's liking him some Joy. So Cornelius and Dakia, they're off and they're talking together, and off the bat, he compliments her. I couldn't believe that, but he gives her a compliment. And by the way, I'm loving Dakia's eye makeup in this scene. Her eye makeup is on point. Love it. So they talk about prior relationships. They talk about kids. And neither of them want kids. Neither of them want kids. Wait. Cornelius wants kids. He just doesn't want to be in a committed relationship. Yeah, Cornelius wants kids, but he doesn't want to be in a committed relationship. And he says the Kia wants to be committed. That's what automatically leads from this show. You find someone that you have a connection with. After the show, you date them. And then if it works out, you eventually get married. That's what the show is about. That's what I think the show is about. Tell me in the comments what you think this show is about. Because in my mind, that's what it's about. You meet somebody here, you have a connection with them. After the show, you keep dating, and then after a while, you get married. That's what I think the show is all about. I don't know what Cornelius thinks this show is all about. He doesn't want to be in a committed relationship. I want him off this show. He's not ready to love. He wants kids, but he doesn't want marriage. He doesn't want to be committed. I want a double elimination this week. I want Paul and Cornelius to go home. They're both not ready to love in my mind. Okay, next we see my girl Sabrina. She's meeting up with Yucky Paul. Ugh. They're at a restaurant, and they both like soul food, so I'm assuming it's a soul food restaurant. She asked him about himself. She asked him about himself, and he said when he was younger, he was mischievous. He claims he's an entrepreneur. He was an entrepreneur under age 10. And Sabrina basically thinks that Paul is too intense. And she doesn't want an intense person in her life. So he asked her if she thinks that he could be someone who can make her happy. Absolutely not. No, he cannot make Sabrina happy. No, I don't know if he can make anybody happy. So this is how I'm going to tell you how I feel about Paul. I think Paul is out there somewhere on an island by himself. He's not down to earth. He sees things one way, just one way. There's nothing off to the side here that he may... No, he's on a one track. He sees things one way. That's how I feel about him. That's what he's giving off to me. He doesn't seem like a person who would want to compromise. He's like a one-track mind. One track. Just one track. Level up, one track. He won't go off of his course. He seems to like he's a closed-minded person. And I say that because the very first episode when he was talking to Ace, and she said that, I think she said she got a divorce 3 years into her marriage. She got a divorce, and he was telling her, so you just threw in the towel? You just gave up? He has no clue who she is. He has no clue who she married, the type of person she married. He has no clue what type of relationship she was in, what type of marriage, how the marriage went. Nothing. He just went in on her about, so you just gave up. You just threw in the towel. He has no clue. Instead of saying, oh, do you mind me asking what happened? No. As far as he's concerned, she threw in the towel and she gave up. Boom. A one-track mind. He's just one-track mind. I don't like that. I don't like. He's got a one-track mind. He's closed-minded. But I love Sabrina. Sabrina says she was 100% honest with him. She told him that she does not see him in that way. And I thought that was a good job. Good job. She told him that she did not want to waste his time. And kudos for him. He took it well. He took it well. So we had another group date. It was AP, Joy, Paul, Laverne, and Demetrius. Another uneven group date. But this time it was more men than women. I can't believe it. This is the first time they had more men than women on a date. They met up. They went bowling. And Laverne was hilarious to me. He had me laughing. He introduced himself to AP. And he introduced Paul and Demetrius and said, this is nobody number one and nobody number two. I fell out. I thought that was hilarious. Oh my God. That was so funny to me. Oh, AP wears, she tells them somebody was going to go get her shoes, her bowling shoes. And she told him she wore a size 11. I would not tell anybody I wear a size 11. But you know what? Then the number is printed on the back of the shoe, so they would know anyway. I wear a size 6.5. Sometimes I go up to a 7. If I can't find what I want in a 6.5, I'll see if they have it in a 7. She wears a size 11. Oy. Those bowling shoes, they can change those bowling shoes. They have the number, the size of the shoes printed on the back of the shoes, so everybody know what size you wear. All right. So they're bowling, and Joy is she's being extra and loud. Oh. And she's just doing the most. So Paul showed AP how to bowl, and he said his mother taught him how to bowl. Paul was trying to tell Joy how to bowl, and she didn't appreciate that at all. She didn't appreciate it. Laverne and Joy, they flirted a lot with each other. And Laverne is funny. He is hilarious. Joy basically said that, she said in her confessional that she likes flirting with Laverne, but nothing else. Because all she didn't say this, but I'm saying this. All she can see is Clifton. That's all she cares about is Clifton. So Joy told Laverne that nobody in the group knows how to handle him. And Laverne was looking good. He was wearing this camouflage shirt that was just sucked onto his muscles. And he was looking good. His muscles were just popping here, popping here. Okay, later on we see another group date. This is Sabrina, Wiley, Tori, Demetrius, and AP. And Sabrina is happy because these are all the 3 men that she finds attractive. I don't think any of these men are for her. I think maybe Clifton, Laverne, or Eric might be the one for her. Anyway, they're on a tour bus, and I think that's a dumb activity because they're on a tour bus and they're sitting there and some man is talking and they're not interacting with each other. They're wasting time. They don't need to be on a tour bus on a group date. They need to be someplace where they can all, go off and talk with each other. They're sitting there on a tour bus, sitting there listening to this man pointing out the national monuments and stuff like that. That was a that wasted their time. Took time away from them getting to know each other, talking to each other, interacting with each other. So Wiley is sitting by AP, and he starts to talk to her. And in her confessional, she basically said that she would rather be talking to Demetrius. Demetrius was sitting all by himself in the back of the bus. That's why I don't like uneven dates. Someone is going to be left out. So AP is like, she's 10 years older than Wiley. And Wiley, he's talking to her, he's asking her about kids, he's asking her age, he's asking her about a job, and she's not interested in him. He's too young for her. Meanwhile, Sabrina is chit-chatting with Tori, and Demetrius is sitting in the back all by himself. And Sabrina is saying that, she wished Demetrius would fight for her. She wants him to jump into the conversation that she's having with Tori and start talking to her. No, that's rude. I don't blame him for just sitting there and not talk. She could have turned around and said, "Hi, how are you? How's it going?" She could have turned around and talked to him, but she said she wanted him to fight for her. No, if he jumps into their conversation, that's being rude, and I don't blame him for not saying anything. Okay, so Joy goes on a date with Clifton. That's the next thing. She goes on a date with Clifton, and she is happy as a freaking clam, because that's who she's interested in. She says she wants a big hug from him, and he didn't disappoint. He gave her a big hug. So they sit down to eat, and he tells her that he wants some of her food, so she feeds him some of his food. Come to find out, there's coconut in it, and he almost had an allergic reaction, but I think he spit it out, and he was fine. He didn't have his allergic reaction. He said he could taste coconut in there. So he spits it out, but then they joke about it. And then they chit-chat. And she tells him that she was raised by her father and he passed away. And Clifton, tells her that his father passed away also. And she tears up a little bit while she's talking about her father. And then they did some heavy, heavy flirting. And that was that for their date. And the next thing, it's the ladies' lounge with Tommy. And Tommy introduced AP to everyone and he welcomed her. And then Tommy asks, who are they feeling the strongest connection with? and why. AC says Laverne is her top connection. She says he reaches out to her every day. And we don't get that vibe from them together. We don't see them together vibing like that. But he talks highly of her. Now she's talking highly of him. I think they're related and they're trying to keep each other there because we don't see them interacting with each other on a romantic level. So I don't know what the heck's going on with them. Joy told them about her date with Clifton. And she almost killed him because he was allergic to the food. And we know that they're both each other's number one. Carmen also said that Clifton is her number one because he made her laugh. Last week he told Joy that she wasn't, he wasn't feeling her. And delusional Carmen talking about, yeah, he's her number one. Not that she likes him. She says he's her number one. He ain't feeling her. He told that to Joy last week. Why she think he's feeling her? Did they go out this week? She crazy. She probably going home next week. But next week I want Joy and who else I wanted to go home? I said I wanted I can't remember who I said I wanted to go home. Oh, Precious. Joy and Precious. I want them out of there. Precious don't have a connection with anybody. She just hanging on by a thread. Anyway, Sabrina says her strongest connection is Demetrius. But she didn't even turn around and talk to him. She wants him to be in her face. She said he's her top because when she talks to him, he listens. But we didn't see them interacting. Maybe they did, but the camera didn't show it. We didn't see them interacting this week. But I don't think he's for her. She said also, Tori. She said they have great conversation. Oh no, I don't think he's for you either. Oh no. Okay, Precious says she's mostly connected to Paul, and that's a lie. She says he's exciting and grounded. No, she's not connected to no Paul. Demetrius don't want her. She somehow realized that Demetrius does not want her, and now she's latching on to Paul because nobody likes Paul. I think they're probably going to try and save each other week and week. Every week they're going to try and save each other, talking about they having a connection with each other, and they don't. They don't have a connection with anybody, but they'll probably try to save each other every week, just so they can stay on the show. Anyway, Precious, she said she likes Paul. And she's going to be his savior. I bet you she's going to be his savior. Dikia, she talked a little bit about her date with Eric. And she said she had eyes for Clifton and Demetrius, but now Eric leaps over them, and now she have eyes for Eric. Tommy asked them who do they have the weakest connection with. AP says she has the weakest connection with Wiley. She says he's too young. And she's 10 years older than him. I understand that. She's 10 years older than him. Tommy says, I like Wiley. Then you date him then, Tommy. If you like Wiley so much, then you date him. That's why I say that the men should have a man to deliberate with and the women should have a woman to deliberate with. What are you talking about? I like Wiley. If you like Wiley so much, then you go date Wiley. He pissed me off with that one. So Dikia, she said she is least connected to Laverne and Cornelius. She said Laverne is on 10 and he's too messy. What does that mean? He's too messy. Was he talking badly about somebody? Was he trying to finagle something? I don't know. Carmen said when she was texting with Laverne, he was negative. Okay. Ace said that she is least connected to Paul. She said he gives her homie vibes. She'll always throw his name out. I don't blame her. I would throw his name out 10 times every day. All day. Anyway, Joy says that her least connection is with Cornelius and Paul. She said that they are not romantic connection. She's not feeling them romantically. Sabrina says she does not see a romantic connection or sparks with Cornelius and Paul. Precious jumps in and she defends Paul. And that's what's going to make him get to stay. Because she's defending him. She says he's the only one. Wait a minute. Yeah, she defends him. I think she's defending him because nobody else likes her. Nobody else likes Precious. And Paul is out there by himself also. So she's going to latch on to him. Okay, Tommy told the ladies to take the guys out and let one of them know that they're not ready for love. And at this point, I haven't seen the end yet, so I don't know who's going home. I'm just watching it and taking notes. But I'm pretty sure the two bottom ones are Cornelius and Paul. And I'm pretty sure Cornelius is going home because Precious is saving Paul. And I want a double elimination. I want Paul and Cornelius to go home because Paul is not ready to love. And Cornelius, all he wants is to hook up with somebody. He doesn't want to be in a committed relationship. And next week, I want Precious and Joy to go home. Joy's not ready to love because she's on the road. Who's going to be on the road with her, dating her? And Precious there's nobody she's connected with. So she needs to go home too. Okay, so we see Cornelius. He's meeting up with Joy. Cornelius said that he is surprised to be meeting up with Joy because he didn't get good vibes from her. So they meet up and they hug and they chit-chat for a little while. And she seems to be having a hard time finding the words to tell him, about what happened. So she tells him that the ladies and her deliberated and a lot of them liked him, but they don't feel like they have a romantic connection with him. Cornelius says, all right, okay. And then Joy tells Cornelius that the women see him as a friend. She says, so your journey here is over and you are not ready to love. Cornelius says, I got it. And he's nodding his head. In his confessional, Cornelius said he got friend zoned by 7 people at the same time. And that's new. And that's, what did he say? The same damn time. He said, yeah, he got friend zoned by 7 people at the same damn time. And that's new. He said that's very surprising. And he hugs Joy. And then he exits stage left. And I said, good riddance. Okay, we see Precious. She's meeting up with Paul. Precious said that she's nervous to tell him disheartening things. She is trying to fool us by making us think that he's going to go home. But we know he's not. Because Cornelius was just... we know he's not because she stood up for him. Anyway. I'm not a fan of Precious at all. And I hope she goes home next week. Anyway, they meet up, they hug. She told him that she wanted to get to know him better. She said they had an intimate and personal conversation. I would have loved to hear that conversation. He told her that he only scratched the surface with her and he wants to go in deeper. That's his way of disgustingly flirting with her by saying he wants to go in deeper. But anyway, she tells him that she didn't take the bait. She didn't start flirting with him. And I'm glad she didn't. She tells him that the women deliberated. And a lot of the women felt that he was not as forward as he needs to be. And that he was guarded. Paul said, okay. Then he goes on and on. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's blah, 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 and blah, 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 talking, blah, 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 talking. And Precious, she sits there and let him get it off his chest. Whatever the hell he was talking about. I tuned him out after a while. Then when she was allowed to talk, she tells him that the women want more and he has to give the women more. And she asked him if he can do that. He says, of course he can do that. And she said, are you willing to do that, to give up more of yourself? He says, yes, he's willing to do that. And she said that she felt that the women were misled and they are wrong. And she feels that he is ready to love. In his confessional, Paul said that even though the women believe that he didn't believe what women are saying, see, he has a one-track mind. He can't stop and think about what the women say, well, maybe I am guarded. Maybe I need to show more of myself. He is one track. He has a one-track mind. He said, I don't believe what the women are saying, but he's going to think about it. And what did he say he's going to do? He said he's going to do some self-examination. I hope you do some self-examination and realize that you are a one-minded person, one-track mind person. You don't think about what anybody else is saying. All you care about is what you feel, what you think, what you're saying, and that's it. Anywho, that's the end of my review / recap. I will be back next week for another review. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching my video. Princess on a Pillow here. Thank you and goodbye.